in the class, you don't have to say good evening back or anything. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. This is the umpteenth Ozark Area House Concert. I don't know what number, it's been over 3 years now, so we must be getting in the 36 to 40 range, somewhere's in there, somewhere's around my range, I think. Anyway, we have some announcements to make. First of all, we thank you all for coming very much. We have picked up a few new members tonight, which we're very, very appreciative right now, because the house concert larder is getting a little low. And the house concert larder consists of the memberships, which new members pay, which is $5 a year. And it goes for paying for the flyers, which go out every month, pays for the mailing, the printing, so on and so forth. No one receives anything in the house concert group for doing this. It's all voluntary, and it's all to promote more music so that next month you can see another show. So if you haven't joined, please do, and if you have, drag somebody else in. We would appreciate that very much. But we do need new members, and we appreciate all the ones we have very, very much. There's going to be some upcoming concerts which we already have dates on, either an exact committed date or at least a weekend, and we'd like to tell you about those. In October, we're having Douglas Woods. That will be Friday, October the 11th, if my information is correct.
Right.
Right. See, I knew my information was correct. Julie never gives me bad information. And Douglas does some really neat songs. He's from Minnesota and does some really neat songs about nature and our interaction with nature. And I think you'll really enjoy it. That's going to be October the 11th, Friday. Then in December, we have a commitment on a December 7th date, which we believe is a Saturday, for Bob and Melissa Atchison, who we've had several requests from some people who are members of the house concert group to get in. Nancy and I have seen them before in Winfield, not by themselves, but they did an excellent job of working with Kathy Barton and Dave Cara, who they were here, let's see, when was it, last April, February, back early in the spring. What to say about John? He's probably one of the most humble people that you'll ever meet, and yet he is probably one of the most nationally recognized persons that we have ever had to do a house concert here for us. And I think probably John can tell you through his stories and through his comments about his music and through his music more about himself than I could tell you in the same amount of time. And we're just real glad to have John not only do a concert for us, but to be living here in Springfield, making Springfield his home with his family, and to be generating such a great deal of interest in Springfield and his writing, and to be such a wonderful, God-fearing person in this area. So I think without any further ado, Johnny Mullins.
Frank, people talk, say nice things about me that very long, and I may not be on them. You know, usually when people do brag on me, it gives me a feeling of humility. And as a token of appreciation, sometimes I give them a lock of my hair. Before I start, I'll just tell you that every song you hear tonight will be songs that I've written over the years, both words and music. I started writing at a very early age, But it wasn't until 1954 that I got my first song recorded. Some of you old timers might remember this. Oh mama, I'm excited, I'm almost out of breath. What I saw like to make me run myself to death. I was on the mountainside when I looked down below, and glory be, I thought I'd better come and let you know that we got company coming. Company's coming, we got company coming up the road. They're down the road about a mile, they'll be here in a little while, 'cause company's coming up the road. Well, Granny, change your apron, and Willie, shine your shoes. Sally, get that new dress on, we got no time to lose. I'll go find the welcome mat and spread it out with cheer. I don't know yet just who they are, can't make them out from here, but we got company coming. Company's coming, we got company coming up the road. They're coming up the mountainside, Susan, don't you run and hide, 'cause company's coming up the road. Well, run out to the hen house and ring an egg or two. We'll have chicken and dumplings and some yellow gravy too. Grandpa, get your fiddle down, 'cause they might want a tune. And everybody hurry, 'cause them folks will be here soon. We got company coming, company's coming, we got company coming up the road. Well, land of Goshen, I allow they'll be here any minute now. Company's coming up the road. Yeah, we got company coming up the road. Thank you. Porter Wagoner was the first to record that. And then it's been recorded by several other artists, Red Foley, Jim and Jesse, Bluebell Scotty, others, and been performed by a lot of people who really made me proud. As Giselle McKenzie used to do it on TV. Tennessee Ernie Ford on the Ford Show. Red Foley recorded it a couple of times. I think the biggest thrill I ever had was when I tuned in television one time and saw Jack Benny grab a verse of that song. He's on the Danny Kaye show, and he and Danny Kaye sung part of it. This next song is a strikeout. Some of these songs you may have heard, others will be strikeouts. Strikeouts is when you write them, but you don't get them recorded. Several years ago, Burl Ives took this song to a recording session to record it. He wanted to do it, but the producer didn't. I've never liked that bird since then. I mean, the producer. Before I sing it, I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. I was raised down here in southwest Missouri, below Cassville and Exeter. Several miles south of Ridgely, Missouri, in a little place called Layton Hollow. Ridgely is one of those places where you got to be going there to get there, because it's not in the way to any place. This is called In the Forks of the Brads. It's funny how song can melt your heart, especially when it's sung by a pretty little girl with pretty little curls, and the moon is lowest one. My folks took me to the village one night, a dance was going on, and I met a little girl with pretty little curls who taught me to sing this silly little song. Way down yonder in the forks of the branch, the old south fiddle in the little pink pants. Possum in the gum tree, better get it down. Let the birds hide and get him in town. While the baby slept and the old folks stepped to the big hillbilly band. Me and the girl with the pretty little curls just sat holding hands. She'd smile at me and I'd smile at her as the band played on and on. She'd tap her feet and giggle so sweet and sang another verse of the silly little song. Way down yonder in the forks of the branch, the old South Little and the Little Big Dance. If I had a wish, I'd wish it was a tree. You'd come along, start swinging on me. I went back home all starry-eyed, just gazing at the moon. And all the way back I couldn't help but sing that silly tune. When they tucked me into the bed that night, I hadn't been asleep very long. Till I started dreaming a sweet little dream about a little girl and a silly little song. Way down yonder in the forks of the branch, the old South Little and the Little Big Dance. Better wake Grandpa early in the morning, tell him that the crows are eating up the corn. Well, I courted her as years went by, and joy filled my life. But early one spring I bought a ring, and she became my wife. We live up high on the mountain top, our love is true and strong. Come up and see us one of these days, your house full of kids sing a silly little song. Way down yonder in the forks of the branch, the old South Little and the Little Big Dance. Possum in the gum tree, better get it down. Let the birds hide and get him in town. If I had a wish, I'd wish it was a tree. You'd come along, start swinging on me. Better wake Grandpa early in the morning, tell him that the crows are eating up the corn. I'm going to dedicate this next song to the waitresses. If anyone here is or has been a waitress, and you've had to put up with these old hairy-legged truck drivers, this song's just for you. This is called Alabama, Faithful Woman.
Throws a little tip down
There's the alimony. Those things ain't lies. They were before. But one more home with the big wheel rolling, then he'll be back. It won't be long for one more cup of her chicory coffee and one more play of the cheating song. Then it's Alabama, faithful woman, would you fill it up just one more time, one more refill of your chicory coffee, and I'll move this ring on down the line. And the only thing that keeps a man from sleeping is the glass rolled down in the cool night air. And the only thing that keeps him from dreaming is the night winds blowing through his cold black hair. This next song was Loretta Lynn's first #1 hit in 1962. I hope the people recording this won't mind if you cough, but I lean over and cough. I used to lean over and spit, and I just barely do. You know, when I started putting this concert together, I was scared to death that I wouldn't be able to memorize some of these older songs of mine. Some of them recorded years and years ago. I hate to say when. But because I used to be able to memorize songs in just a few minutes. It took less time than that, you know, but just one that I just finished writing. But I can't think as fast as I used to. My mind's just a little bit slower. My wife and I were walking along the other day, and she hollered, "Hey, look, there's a dead bird." And I looked up. This is called Success Has Made a Baby of Our Home. We used to go out walking hand in hand. You told me all the big things you had planned. It wasn't long till all your dreams came true. It's funny what success has done to you. You have no time to love me anymore, since fame and fortune knocked upon your door. Now I spend all my evenings all alone. Success has made a failure of our home. If we could share an evening now and then, perhaps we'd find true happiness again. You never hold me like you used to do. It's funny what success success has made a failure of our home. I've been asked a few times over the years to write questionable lyrics. Bedroom songs, especially a few years ago, were really the in thing. But I never would do it. I always wanted to write songs, whether they were good or mediocre. When my grandchildren and great-grandchildren would look at it and say, hey, old Grandpa wrote a good song, it's a good thing song. I'm going to have to back up just a little though. This is a first bedroom song that I ever wrote. I always said, I told the fellows down in Nashville, I said, boys, if I ever write a bedroom song, it'll be a song that honors the woman instead of degrading it. This is called When the Cold Morning Comes. It's a song about the working man and his faithful wife at home. That's the way it ought to be instead of in a motel someplace. This is called When the Cold Morning Comes. I'll go home this evening like I always do. So tired and weary, with my back broken too. She'll be in the doorway with arms open wide, and the cares of the day will all slip away when we step inside. She'll fall on my shoulder and hold me so tight. She'll loosen my collar and make everything right. She'll pull us together and make me feel strong. And before the night's ended, she'll have me all mended when the cold morning comes. When 6:45, I'll clock in my time, and I'll hit the old rat race, and I'll face the old grind. But what keeps me going through the long dreary day is counting the tender sweet things I remember that's coming my way. She'll fall on my shoulder and hold me so tight. She'll loosen my collar and make everything right. She'll pull us together and make me feel strong. And before the night's ended, she'll have me all mended when the cold morning comes. I'm a little bit old-fashioned, and I've always been, but I believe a good woman can sure help a man. She can lighten his burden when the going gets rough. So I bring home the bacon with every bone aching, and she brings me love. She'll fall on my shoulders and hold me so tight. She'll loosen my collar and make everything right. She'll pull us together and make me feel strong. And before the night's ended, she'll have me on bed when the cold morning comes. about climbing in.
Sounds cool.
Melinda Mullins had this song, I don't know, 20 years at least, maybe longer than that. She took it right after she recorded Success, even before she recorded Blue and Dang Girl. She just loves the thing, but she held on to it and held on to it until country music changed to something else, and I'm not going to say what that something else is. Last time I saw Loretta, she said, Johnny, I wish I'd recorded this song back when country music was country music, and they'd let us sing it that way. I wrote it especially for Loretta. It's for a girl to sing, so I'm going to sing it. I was doing a show one time, and this little boy in the audience asked me, he said, Mr. Mullins, since you wrote that song for a girl to sing, and you're a boy, he said, how did you ever get started singing it? And I said, well, boy, first time I sung it was when I wanted to hear what it sounded like. This is called Forsake Me Now While I'm Still Young. Fellas, if you're going to forsake her, let her go while she's young. Don't take the best years away from her. Forsake me now while I'm still young. Tonight my heart is broken, 'cause I just got the news. You've been out with an old flame, though you promised to be true. But if you really love her, then let her be the one. Just forsake me now while I'm still young. Forsake me now and not tomorrow, while I'm strong enough to stand all the sorrow. Don't rob me of my best years, then find another one. Just forsake me now while I'm still young. I hope she makes you happy as I have tried to do. And I only hope she never, you never treat her the same way too. Somehow I'm glad it's over, though it had just begun. But forsake me now while I'm still young. Forsake me now and not tomorrow, while I'm strong enough to stand all the sorrow. Don't rob me of my best years, then find another one. Just forsake me now while I'm still young. Just forsake me now while I'm still young. This next song you may have heard if you're a gospel music fan. I wrote this one evening several years ago while my young bride of about a year was fixing supper for me, for her young, handsome, thick-haired husband. This has been recorded by the Happy Goodman family, the Blue Ridge Quartet, singing hymns, and a few other small labels that I didn't get a copy of the record. This is called Move Up a Little Closer. Oh, how well I can remember back in old camp meeting time. I'd linger in the shadows trying to hide this face of mine. I could barely hear the preacher, barely hear the elders pray. Then one night I heard a voice that the shadows. Come out and be counted with the children of the Lord. Move up a little closer, climb higher up the mountain. Come out and be counted with the children of the Lord. I pretended not to listen, tried to close my burning ears. Although I've been a sinner and I've wasted many years, I turned to leave the meeting, but somehow I couldn't start. Then once more I heard this voice in my heart. Move up a little closer, don't stand in the shadows. Come out and be counted with the children of the Lord. Move up a little closer, I'm higher up the mountain. Come out and be counted with the children of the Lord. Well, I'm so thankful for the message that was sent to me that night. I donned my Christian armor and I vowed to spread the light. Now when I see a sinner standing in the shadows dim, I just bow my head and say a prayer for him. Move up a little closer, don't stand in the shadows. Come out and be counted with the children of the Lord. Move up a little closer, I'm higher up the mountain. Come out and be counted with the children of the Lord. Come out and be counted with the children of the Lord. Several years ago, when Mom and Dad got too old to stay at the old home place, they moved up here to Republic and lived next door to one of my sisters and her family. Several years after that, I went back to visit the old home place and look at the old log house and the old spring house. And all I saw was a few old rotted timbers laying over a hillside and a spring house filled with leaves and driftwood. And I thought, I don't have much else to do, so I'll just write me a song. This is called The Old Genuine. Now for you city slickers, you always call it genuine. But down in the hills where I was raised, it was genuine. Like in them, there's them's genuine. Sorry for the molasses you're eating in this. The old genuine. Everything's gone at the scene of my childhood. Loved ones all left with the passing of time. Just rotted sawdust and a few old stray timbers is all that is left of the old genuine. The old genuine, the old genuine. That's all that is left of the old genuine. So at a tumble down cabin way back in the mountains, I sit here and wait for the death bell to chime. And I ponder the reasons that I left the city. And I came here to visit the old genuine. Well, I got so weary of things artificial. Everything hurried, but nothing on time. I said I'll go back and I'll visit the old home. 'Cause I've always called it the old genuine. The old genuine, the old genuine. Yes, I've always called it the old genuine. The old house is gone and the rail fence is rotten. Some precious old relics was all I could find. They were guarded so well by the rattlers that bit me. They came here to live with the old genuine. Well, I'll never make it, it's too far to travel. Back through the hollers and tangled up vines. But I'll thank the Lord with the last breath I'm breathing that I got one more look at the old genuine. The old genuine, the old genuine. Lord, I got one more look at the old genuine. I'm going to pay tribute to my wife now, and the reason I am is to make it up to her. She went out this morning, got a nice hairdo at the beauty shop to get ready for this concert tonight. She came home, I didn't even notice it. I tell her the reason is that she always looks so pretty that, I'm not looking for anything different. But all joking aside, I appreciate the woman who has stood by me through all these years. There's been many a time when I was writing a song that she would have liked to go down to Mama's. But I had to finish it because the world was waiting for it. We didn't do anything with this song, we just wrote it for Peggy. This is called Standing in the Wings. I've sung you all cowboy songs I know, and I've hit you with a drinking song or two. Well, I usually end with gospel, but tonight's a special show. So I'm gonna sing a song about someone you never knew. She's standing in the wings when they should be on her shoulders. Shoulders that I cried upon so many times. She lasted through the mean years and fasted through the lean years. When my chances for success, she could have sold them for a dime. She knew the road was no easy way to go, and it was harder on a country singer's wife. But she overlooked the bakers and the proposition makers. She knew there was no way I'd ever let them ruin her life. She's standing in the wings when they should be on her shoulders. Shoulders where I laid me down, this weary head of mine. She kissed away my troubles, and it sure She's standing in the wings when they should be on her shoulders. Shoulders wet and stained from her own tears. Now it's gonna be forever, just pain and me together. From a rented shack in Springfield to crystal chandelier. You know, I feel like now that I sing with her out, I feel like I need to honor all the women every night. You know, I have always believed that women should not be discriminated against because of their sex. They're the fairer sex, and sometimes they're the weaker sex. If you're lifting a bunch of bales of hay or something. Sometimes they're stronger. So I'll be happy. I wrote this song several years ago, and I have never been able to get up enough courage to send it off and get it published and recorded, for fear that either the women folks or the men folks one would kill me. I'll tell you what I like to do. I like to sing this song, and when I do, I sing certain verses. I like to pick out women that I've picked out that I think will be good sports. I think all of you would be good sports, but I had to pick this couple of three. And I'll sing a verse to you. Now, I'll do the chorus first, and then I'll sing you a verse, and I'll ask you to stand when I get through the chorus. Okay, this is called Women's Liberation. Women's liberation is sweeping through the nation. It's spreading like a wind across the land. Already I can see how it's made a change in me. No longer will I be a selfish man. That's getting a little tall down here. Well, Ellen, I've forgotten how to pronounce his last name. Can't read it right, but L-A-C-I-N-Y. Is she here? Yeah, I forgot to tell you this beforehand, but these verses get a little worse. Well, you got the first one, so it's not that bad. Okay, here's your verse, Ellen. Oh, today my heart is broken, 'cause women's lib is spoken loud and clear. It makes me feel so bad, though I've treated you so mean throughout the year. You'll find it in your heart to just forgive me for the way I've done you wrong. Then I'll treat you as an equal, and I'll vow it's even Steven from now on. Okay. Women's liberation is sweeping through the nation. It's spreading like the wind across the land. Already I can see how it's made a change in me. No longer will I be a selfish man. Do we have a Denise Stone? Denise Stone. Okay. Denise, you work out in the house, out home? You work away from home? You drive a car? A year round, I suppose. Okay, here's your verse, Denise. You don't mind if I call you honey? That's the first word in this verse. Honey, come look out the window, see the pretty streets all cold and slick with ice. It's your turn to drive the car, and it ain't fair to you for me to drive it twice. Just remember, easy does it, and don't panic if the wheels go in a spin. All you gotta do is stop it, back it out, and straighten up and try again. Women's liberation is sweet illumination. It's spreading like wind across the land. Already I can see how it's made a change in me. No longer will I be a selfish man. No, I always sing this last verse to my wife. That's because I don't ever sing it. So, Peggy, you stand up. Now, Peggy's heard me say before that the verses get worse as they go along. And this is the last one. You ready for this, sweetheart? Okay. When we're seated by the fireplace and the little ones are playing around my knee, I can tell just what you're thinking by the funny way you're looking straight at me. So the only thing I ask is that you cross your heart and promise me today that when it comes my turn to have one, that you'll get me to the doctor. Women's liberation is sweet liberation. It's spreading like wind across the land. Already I can see how it's made a change in me. No longer will I be a selfish man. Just before we break for intermission here, I'd like to, you know, you women won't believe this, but after I sing that, do you women folks that way, I always feel guilty. You know, I mean, it gives me a kind of a bad feeling inside. And I feel like maybe that I need to make it up to you. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do, girls. Just for you, I'm going to sing one of the most tender and romantic love ballads that I have ever written in my whole life. You know, we all need a little romance in our lives once in a while. Within reason, I mean. The kids out of Wilder School where I worked as a janitor liked this song so well that they just sung the fire out of it for several years. They especially like to sing it to their mamas, whom they love so dearly. This is called Garage Sale.
Garage Sale.
Mama's awful busy working hard today. She got a lot of junk she's wanting out of the way. People started coming at the break of day to her garage sale. Mama's selling everything around the place, from old broken jewelry to worn out lace. The whole town's coming at a rapid pace to her garage sale. She selling heard the rod say. Daddy's gonna rave whenever he comes in, that big moose head hanging in his head. Well, Mama thinks it ought to bring her 5 or 10, that heard the rod say. Mama's even selling Daddy's old toupee. It's ripped up the middle, but it's still okay. And now she's making plans to go another day with her garage sale. She's got a big bunch of money that she's been paid. It looks like my mommy's gonna have it made. And I've earned a fortune selling lemonade at her garage sale.
If or not, it would be unusual. That's a good point. We always like to have refreshment. John's daughter, Melinda, is going to do some singing with him, and John will tell you more about that. And we really appreciate the attendance. Are you enjoying it so far? I certainly am. So, again, John Mullins.
You know, I told you how much I appreciated my wife. And don't intend to tell you everything about my life, but Peggy knows this. Peggy knows that at one time in my life, there was another woman. When I was 14, I had a sweetheart down in the hills. Her name was Juan De Lune. So you can tell by looking at me that this song goes back a long way. Juan De Lune. I couldn't hold Juan De Lune. Oh, I could hold her, but I couldn't keep her. This is called Juan De Lune is showing out. I'm going to the top of old Huckleberry Mountain. There's a place where I can sit there all alone, and I'll think about my wonder and the sweet love that is fading, and I'll think about the treasures we have known. She said she would never cry for me, said she wasn't gonna sit around and pout. She's feeling good, loose, and fancy free. And they tell me Juan De Lune is showing out. I wouldn't mind the pain, and I can stand the sorrow. If that was all there was, I'd make it through. But it's more the way she's acting and making me the loser. For I'm treated like a dog by Juan De Lune. I heard that she was going to the barn dance in the valley, and I went there just to walk and look about. And it hurt me to the core when I walked up to the door, and they told me Juan De Lune was showing out. She said she would never cry for me, said she wasn't gonna sit around and pout. She's feeling good, loose, and fancy free. And they tell me Juan De Lune is showing out. So I'm going to the top of old Huckleberry Mountain. There's a place where I can sit there all alone. I'll think about my wonder and the sweet love that is fading. And I'll think about the treasure we have known. know why I wrote this song, except I saw a scene that made an impression on me, and I want to put it in this song. I wrote this for a girl singer, kind of a bluegrass thing. Sent it to Emmylou Harris, and she turned around and sent it to Delia Bell, who's a bluegrass singer. And Delia told me last winter that she planned to put this in a future album. This is about a sweet, innocent girl being wronged by a man. And the thing that impressed me was that right after a big rain, have you seen these rivers, you know, where the water has been so high that it's got the grass laying flat and matted down? And I thought, well, I'm going to have to write a song and get that matted down grass in there somewhere. I guess that's the only reason I wrote this song. This is called Lonely Violet. Near a budding weeping willow grew a violet all forlorn. In the hills of Tennessee she was born, holding to a precious memory, just a faded, broken dream, like a wildwood flower blooming by a stream. Where'd you come from, lonely violet? Did you hide here on the wind? Will another join you later as a friend? Where the rivers overflowing and the grass is matted down, and cool waters running over fertile ground. Will he ever be returning like he made his vow to you? Are you waiting here in vain the way I do? Is a promise still a promise as it was in days gone by? Or is loving just a thing to make you cry? Where'd you come from, lonely violet? Did you ride here on the wind? Will another join you later as a friend? Where the rivers overflowing and the grass is matted down, and cool waters running over fertile ground. I didn't choose a place of living, took it all the way it came. I loved a rambling man and thought he felt the same. I let a fire burn my bosom sweeter than I ever known, making flowers grew wherever a seed is sown. Where'd you come from, lonely violet? Did you ride here on the wind? Will another join you later as a friend? Where the rivers overflowing and the grass is matted down, and cool waters running over fertile ground. Neither my wife, Peggy, nor Juan De Lune are the only sweethearts that I've had in my life. I've got one other. Would you make a big welcome for my daughter, Melinda?
we're going to do is the first song that Dad ever wrote when he was about 11 years old. And when Dad completed this masterpiece, he swore that someday it would be accompanied by a symphony orchestra and sung by the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Well, it didn't quite work out that way. But we're going to sing it for you anyway. This song has the distinguished and very dignified title of, what is it again?
Rabbit in the Briar Patch.
That's right.
Eagle-eye-dee and the eagle-eye-do, rabbit in the briar patch, better get him out. No one second thought, better let it go. Eagle-eye-dee and the eagle-eye-do. Hey, look, setting on yonder hill, hovered by a bush, all quiet and still. Get your finger on the trigger and shoulder on the gun, and you better do it quick, or the rabbit's gonna run. Eagle-eye-dee and the eagle-eye-do, rabbit in the briar patch, better get him out. No one second thought, better let him go. Eagle-eye-dee and the eagle-eye-do.
Lazy old dog sure got it made. All he ever does is lay in the shade. Mark my word, if the rabbit ever runs, won't be from the dog, it'll be from the gun.
Eagle-eye-dee and the eagle-eye-do, rabbit in the briar patch, better get him out. No one second thought, better let him go. Eagle-eye-dee and the eagle-eye-do. Bet you can't guess where I hunted last week. Hunted with the girls on Kissing Creek. When they said they loved me the rabbit so, I didn't take all the shoot, so I let the rabbit go. Eagle-eye-dee and the eagle-eye-do, rabbit in the briar patch, better get him out. No one second thought, better let him go. Eagle-eye-dee and the eagle-eye-do. Eagle-eye-dee and the eagle-eye-do, rabbit in the briar patch, better let him go. Dad used to make me go to the barn loft to practice my singing or songwriting. But when he heard that, my first song, he let me back in the house and encouraged me to write songs. But he said, tell me something, son. He said, why in tarnation did you let that rabbit go? I said, well, Dad, eagle-eye-dee and eagle-eye-do. No one second thought, let her go.
The next song we're going to do, I'm not sure how old Dad was when he wrote it, but I know he wasn't 11 years old because no 11-year-old could write a song that is so lonely and sad. This one really gets me right here. This is called If I Own This Town.
If I owned this town, I'd walk it up and down. And I'd ask everyone to leave but you. Then with everybody gone, and you left here alone, you'd realize what I've been going through. Did you ever see a town so lonely that every day's like Sunday afternoon? Did you ever walk the street with tired and aching feet just because there was nothing left to do? And there's nothing left for me without you.
If I own song that really got things rolling for Dad. It's called Blue Kentucky Girl, and it was first recorded in 1965 by Loretta Lynn. And we found out this week that she's re-releasing it in a TV album entitled Collector's Edition, which makes us happy. And in 1980, Emmylou Harris recorded this song, and this is the song that sent Dad to the Grammys. And I personally will never forget the day that we received a mailgram that said, "Dear Johnny, congratulations on your Grammy nomination for Best Song of the Year." You should have seen this guy. He was so excited. We all were. It was a wonderful time, and we have a lot of happy memories. If you ever have about 12 or 13 hours, I'll tell you about it sometime. This song is Blue Kentucky Girl.
You left me for the bright lights of the town. A country boy set out to see the world. Remember when those neon lights shine down? That big old moon shines on your Kentucky girl. I swear I love you by the moon above you. How bright is it shining in your world? Some morning when you wake up all alone, just come on to your blue Kentucky girl.
Don't wait to bring great riches home to me, 'cause I need no diamond rings or fancy pearls. Just bring yourself, you're all I'll ever need, 'cause that's good enough for this blue Kentucky girl. I swear I love you by the moon above you. How bright is it shining in your world? Some morning when you wake up all alone, just come on home to your blue Kentucky girl. Just come on home to your blue Kentucky girl.
You know, if I knew what it was about that song that made it a hit, every song it over would be a hit. But that's one sad thing about writing songs. It's like an artist painting a picture. He gets it down on canvas, and he would give anything in the world if he could view it like the passerby views it, but he can't do it. He thinks maybe backing up or moving around a bit will help. But he finally discovers that no matter how far he moves to the left, moves to the right, or moves back, he is still too close to his creation. So if you create, you've got to live with one sad thing. You'll never be able to see your work like those people out there see it. I'd give anything if I knew what made that song a hit twice, and why it's being performed in every country in the world except Russia and the headhunters. A couple of years after I got back from Hollywood and the Grammy Awards, I worked for about 2 more years as a janitor, mainly because I just didn't have the heart to leave those precious children. But I needed to full-time my writing because of assignments coming in. So in 1981, I took an early retirement and to full-time my writing. It took me a while to get adjusted to it, but I finally worked out a schedule. I get up early in the morning, and about sunup, I put the leash on my dog and we go for a walk. We walk for several blocks. And I come back and write songs during the day and maybe work in my garden. Then in the evening, my wife Peggy and I go for a walk. And that way I can use the same leash both times.
Yeah, but who wears it?
Yeah. Hey, French.
She's got ways that hurt worse than the leash. I'll tell you what, before I left, I wrote this song. It's the first song that I ever wrote on the job. It's good. Actually, it wasn't on the job because I had some work left over from the night before, and I'd gotten to work about an hour or so early. Some kid had left a bird in the cage he'd brought to school the day before for show and tell, and he'd left it overnight. And I was sitting on the desk watching that bird, and I thought, boy, you've just given me a good idea for a song that I'm fixing to write for him, Harris. I guess I wrote this song about myself as much as I did the bird, because I figured it was about time for my cage to open and for me to fly out too. I don't know much about chord construction, I never did. Some of you musicians probably noticed that everything I've done tonight's been either in D or G. If I don't know a chord, I try to put in some little old whirligiggle with my fingers to take the place. I've been surprised a few times to find that whirligiggle in the master session when they do it. I don't know whether they felt sorry for me or thought that's the way it's supposed to be. I tried to put some bird flying music behind this, and Emmy Lou told me later, said, I sure like that bird flying music you had behind that song. This is called A Night Flyer. She has this recorded and laid back for a future release. She's very fond of it, but she's going to wait till country music trend gets back where people accept these kind of songs when she releases it. This is called The Night Flyer. The window is open, so why don't you fly? Could it be you have lost all the yearning to try? Your cage is a prison that kept you so long, but wings are for flying and a throat for a song. So fly like an eagle and land like a dove. Go find all the places you must have dreamed of. Fly away with your troubles and drop them somewhere. And if you're only dreaming, I don't really care.
They won't even miss you nor ask where you've been. They'll feed you and listen for a song now and then. Fly over the mountain and come back to me. Then tell in your song what it's like to be free. Go fly like an eagle and land like a dove. Go find all the places you must have dreamed of. Fly away with your troubles and drop them somewhere. And if you're only dreaming, I don't really care. God gave us the places to labor and strive. But if living ain't nothing but staying alive, then give me the dime if that's what you found.
Don't sing on my grave or drop flowers on the ground. For I fly like an eagle and land like a dove, and I find all the places that I have dreamed of. Fly away with my troubles and drop in somewhere. And if I'm only dreaming, I don't really care. And if I'm only dreaming, I don't really care.
This next song is one of my favorites because it reassures me of the fact that you can be happy without being rich, which is nice. It's a song about the simple things in life. It's entitled, It's Been a Good Day.
Many scenes of my childhood I fondly recall, but one of them lingers, more precious than all. In the shank of the evening, my daddy would pray as he talked to his Jesus in his own simple way. It's been a good day, Lord, it's been a good day. The children are healthy, they're able to play. There's food on the table, the cattle have paid. It's been a good day, Lord, it's been a good day. One cold winter evening, many years have gone by, my daddy grew weary, his time had grown nigh. With the long moments passing, I stood by his bed. Once more he was saying what he often had said. It's been a good day, Lord, it's been a good day. The children are healthy, they're able to play. There's food on the table, the cattle have hay. It's been a good day, Lord, it's been a good day.
Now that I've grown older, with a home of my own, like him I get weary, and I just can't go on. That's when I remember those evenings I knew, and I talked to my Jesus like my dad used to do.
It's been a good day, Lord, it's been a good day. The children are healthy, they're able to play. There's food on the table, the cattle have hay. It's been a good day, Lord, it's been a good day. It's been a good day, wrote for Emily Harris. I've written a couple of songs for Emily Harris, and so far she's kissed me twice. I think I'll get in right now. She recorded this with Delia Bell and John Anderson. You might have heard it on KTTS. This is based on the Zechariah 14:4, where it says, "And in that day his feet shall stand upon the Mount of Olives," which is before Jerusalem on the east. "And the mountain shall cleave within the midst thereof, and there shall be a very great valley. And half the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half toward the south." In other words, when our Lord comes back again, his foot is going to split the mountain of olives wide open. I wanted to use the word Olivet if I could in the song because it meters out better than Mount Olives for a bluegrass song. So I called my pastor about 5:30 in the morning. That's when I wrote it. I said, "Brother Tom," I said, I need to ask you a question. He said, "What is it?" I said, "Where'd Cain get his wife?" Well, after he told me that Cain got his wife in the 4th chapter of Genesis, I said, "Now, Brother Tom, what I wanted to ask you was, I just finished writing a gospel song, and I want to know if the Mount of Olives and Mount Olivet's the same mountain." He said, "Yes, it is." He said, "It's called Mount of Olives in the Old Testament, Mount Olivet in the New Testament." I said, "Thank you." He said, "Thank you," and said, "Good night." It's called Good Lord Almighty. Good Lord Almighty, there he stands upon the mountain, just like he promised he would do someday. When I descend Mount Olivet, my foot will split the mountain. Good Lord Almighty, there he stands. Did you ever hear the story about the Lord's return? You know he's coming back again in glory grand. Did you ever think that maybe it really wouldn't happen? Well, good Lord Almighty, there he stands. Good Lord Almighty, there he stands upon the mountain, just like he promised he would do someday. When I descend Mount Olivet, my foot will split the mountain. Good Lord Almighty, there he stands. Which direction are you going? Are you running toward the mountain? Or are you going to the valley to hide your face? I'm headed for Mount Olivet, 'cause I believe the story, and I wish you could join me in the race. Good Lord Almighty, there he stands upon the mountain, just like he promised he would do someday. When I descend Mount Olivet, my foot will split the mountain. Because I'll tell you what, behind each seat, we put a paper sack. And in that paper sack is a little toy ukulele. So if y'all want to, reach back and get your ukuleles, and we're all tuned up at the same time. I might do a song that's got something in it some of you will recognize. You know, I told my wife years and years ago, I said, I just love that name of that town, southeast of here, called Lindenlure. Most of us call it Linden, but the old name is Lindenlure, isn't it, Mr. Galvin?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's was called Linda Mullin. That's what it's called when I first came to Springfield, and I just love that name. I told my wife that one of these days, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to get that name Linda and lure into a song. By Nabby, I figure if I can get matted grass in this, I can get Linda and lure in there. This is a truck driving song called Diesel Charlie. Johnny Cash, bless his heart, had this song about 5 years, but they can't get him in to record it. He may do it if he ever comes in to record. This is called Diesel Charlie. Well, I pulled this rig from coast to coast 100 times or more. And every day on the big highway they heard my diesel roar. But I told them all in the trucker's hall that this was my last run. And I got my mind tuned right in time with the big old engine's hum. I've been thinking up old memories of the men who rode with me. There's Benny Brown from Denver town and Jake from Tennessee, little Joe from Alabama and old Hank from Washington. I got a feeling you don't want them all, so I'll just give you one. I called him Diesel Charlie, and he was quite a Romeo. He had a girlfriend down in Memphis and one in Buffalo. One on the West Coast, one on the East Coast, and some in between. He kept their names in a little black book in the pocket of his jeans. Well, I knew where Charlie came from, 'cause I'd hauled him home before. It was a little old country village that they called Lindenlow. Just a white place in the highway, just a little roadside town. No need to look in the atlas book, they never wrote it down. Old Charlie had a good wife, he had a daughter and a son. Sometimes he'd get to thinking about all the sin he'd done, but that girl he had in Memphis was like the one in Buffalo. And the things that Diesel Charlie did, no one will ever know. He went home on vacation, and he was gone a week or two. And he ain't never been the same old buddy that I knew. But I really knew that Charlie wasn't like he used to be. When he took one look at his little black book and he handed it to me. He told of a big camp meeting they had while he was home. And he talked about the baptizing, said the creek was mighty cold. But a new old Diesel Charlie wouldn't pull the rigs no more. When he drew his pay and I hauled him home to the hills of Lindenlow. Well, I'm gonna miss old Charlie, but I'm proud he made the change. And I thought if he got religion, someday I might do the same. But there's a lot about Charlie, he never will know for sure. For I threw his little book in the bathroom brook about a mile from Lindenlow. I'll do one more if somebody will tell me what should I do, huh? You know, I couldn't remember this thing, but I'm not going to be outdone in songwriting. You know, I went home after watching the first moon landing and wrote a song about it. I had myself on the moon and I thought they were coming after me. I can remember the chorus of something like this. Oh, they're coming after me. Yes, they're coming take me home. They're gonna set me free. Where there ain't no sin, no sin, and everybody's your friend. Come on, shake a hand, they're coming after me. They're gonna set me free. See, I was on the moon. I said it to a producer, he said, you better stay on the earth. You better stay on the earth and I country songs. I might do this one for you. This is one I wrote for practice. This is called If My Love Had Been a Snake. If my love had been a snake, honey, it would have been you. It was right there under your nose every time I kissed you. It was in your way like tripping on some old shoe. Yeah, if my love had been a snake, honey, it would have been you. That open road sure must have looked good to you. If you hit it, baby, in spite of all I could do. You said you were looking for love you never could find. Well, how you gonna find it, baby, when you couldn't find mine? If my love had been a snake, honey, it would have been you. It was right there under your nose every time I kissed you. It was in your way like tripping over some old shoe. Yeah, if my love had been a snake, honey, it would have been you. That old road makes you cry all farther down. And you want to come back and take another look around. Well, come on home and let me tell you before you start. You're never gonna find it till you look inside my heart. 'Cause if my love had been a snake, honey, it would have been you. It was right there under your nose every time I kissed you. It was in your way like tripping over some old shoe. Yeah, if my love had been a snake, honey, it would have been you.